Good afternoon everybody and welcome to Naples. Let me get this phone sorted out for a start. Let's tighten this up. Derek Clark from the Rangers Review here. I'm a short distance away from the Napoli Stadium, the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium as it's known. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you a little walk around nearby and we'll try and get into the ground now. I've been informed that they don't do stadium tours, so unlike Ajax, I doubt we'll be able to get actually inside the ground, but God loves a trier and we'll try and get in anyway. Of course, it's very unfortunate that there's no Rangers fans in attendance to the match on Wednesday night. It stems from the fact that there was no Napoli fans at Ibrox, of course, due to the lack of policing following the death of Queen Elizabeth. No Rangers fans permitted entry to the ground on Wednesday night. But what I'll do is I'll try and get close to the ground anyway, try and get inside and show you where Napoli play their home games. Of course, fantastic result for them last night against Roma at the Stadio Olimpico. I was very fortunate to be there. They're flying at the moment, top of Serie A, won all their games in the Champions League, so Rangers really up against it on Wednesday. In terms of the area itself, I've just got off the train from Napoli Central. Took around 15-20 minutes, a subway to this little part of the city where the stadium is a 10-minute walk away. So what we'll do is I'm nearby now. I'm not too sure if you can see it behind me, but I'm going to whirl this around and we'll start making our way towards the ground. So here we go. That's lovely jubbly. Right, okay, let's whirl this around here. Hopefully I won't get run over. Scooters all over the place. Right, let's walk down this way. So yeah, as any of you that tuned into the morning briefing this morning, you'd have seen that I started the day in Rome, and I got the super fast train down to Naples this afternoon, travelling at speeds of 300 kilometres per hour. It really is absolutely fantastic. So just got to Naples around about an hour later, and I've hot-footed it over to this part of the city where the ground is. Wee fruit and veg stall there. Wait for this car to pass. Oh. And you might see that in the distance here. That is where the ground is. Sorry, the phone is just a little bit squinty there. I'll try and get that more in line. There we go. Right. Here we go. So yeah, as I mentioned, it's very unfortunate that we won't see a good number of Rangers supporters making their way to this ground on Wednesday. Did bump into a few already when I arrived yesterday. Two lads, and shout out to Big Dale from Renfrew. He was a character and a half, but they are just opting to watch the match in Sorrento, which is a train journey about an hour's away journey from Naples, so they're not sticking around in here. Of course, we have heard, Rangers have put out a statement, of course, likewise Napoli, telling fans not to travel, but many, of course, have already, they paid their flights and accommodation, and more often than not they don't get those refunded, so you can understand why so many of them, so many supporters are heading out to Naples anyway. I've not spent too much time in the city, so I can't really comment on what it's like, but certainly very industrial so far. But here we go, you can see the ground just up ahead. Now, as I mentioned, no official tours. However, I have been told it is possible at times to sneak a wee in, so we'll try and do so. Now, Rangers, of course, travelling tomorrow. There'll be a walk around at the ground, which I'll head along to tomorrow evening, as the players just have a little walk in the pitch as they normally do it for these fixtures. And the press conference, of course, tomorrow as well, which will bring you all the details of that on the Rangers Review site and our social media channels. So here we go, stadium just coming into view now. Try and lift this up a little bit so you can see. There we go. Historic ground, the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. So lots of cars just situated just outside. I'll try and cross this road here. Again, being careful not to get knocked over. Red man, so we'll just hang fire. In terms of the temperature, it's a cool 25 degrees, folks, so if you're heading over, then make sure you pack the sun cream. I've got the factor 50 on, no messing about. So yeah, even though it's we're well into October, it's pretty hot here in Italy. Busy little part of town, this. So what we'll do is I'll go a little jaunt around the perimeter of the ground, and hopefully there's a way in somewhere. And of course this is where Napoli demolished both Liverpool and Ajax. Liverpool, though, notably beat them heavily here, and they rightly sit top of the group. They've actually already qualified as well, so perhaps they may rest some players tomorrow. Let's hope so, because they looked, as I mentioned earlier, superb last night against Roma, who didn't muster a single shot on target. And when you consider the players that Roma have at their disposal, it shows you just how good Napoli are at the moment. Right, just walking in this baking heat is not ideal. There's a few people just over there, so we'll head over that way, see if we can get in somehow. Oh, I think the jumper I put on this morning maybe I've been a schoolboy error. There's a couple of lads over there. I don't know if the gates are open. No, you can see it's no entry there. Some cars coming out here. It's an old school ground, this, of course, and famous for that semi-final in Italia 90 between Italy and Argentina, of course, when I think the majority of the fans in the ground were supporting Argentina, given the fact that Maradona was starring for Napoli at that time. There's a little security guy at the door there. Doubt we'll be able to get in there, but we'll have a look anyway. This guy's just taking pictures there. Oof, there we go. Let's try and zoom in there. See the pitch, a little tiny bit of the pitch there. But yeah, manned by security. With the Champions League bibs on. Let's see if we can get in. Try and chance my arm here. Excuse me, buddy. No entry, no? No? No problem. There you go. Let's try and zoom out here. Me and technology not going well together. Anyway, we'll soldier on. I'll make try and zoom out there. There we go, that's better. Right, that's unfortunate. Try and shimmy this camera up. You can see the outside of it anyway. Sorry I couldn't take you inside, folks, but as I mentioned, God loves a try. We'll try around here. Let's see if there's any way of getting ourselves in. That looks like where the team buses will come from. Right under the ground there. Oh, we're in the shade, that helps. Right, here we go. There's another steward there, so security pretty tight here, as you could imagine with the game coming up in a couple of days' time. Let's see here. But, yeah, so there's a ground and then there's fence that you have to get through before you get in there, so it makes it difficult. That's one thing I was told before I came out here. I spoke to a guy I know from Sky, says just watch out for the car horns. You don't go every 5 to 10 seconds without hearing a car horn. There's another one. So yeah, Rangers, this is our last trip, of course, in the Champions League group campaign. It's been a pretty miserable one, all things considered. No wins, of course, and they want to fare better than they did in the last game when they lost 7-1 to Liverpool, right buddy? So you can see there, heavily fortified fencing structure. That's where the fans will go through before going in. Look at that, that is old school there. I'll take you, zoom in on that there. That looks like old school turnstiles and ticket office there. Wow. So as you can see, oval type ground, pretty much like the Stadio Olimpico last night. And by the way, if you've got the chance to go there, if you head to Rome at any point, then I'd very much urge you to do so. Atmosphere was sensational. The Roma supporters really know how to back their team. Even when they lost the match, they were in full voice at the final whistle as the players headed over to applaud the supporters. So yeah, super game, super atmosphere last night. And as I mentioned, Napoli looked very impressive indeed. It's going to take a monumental effort for Rangers to get something tomorrow or Wednesday night. There's the main man himself. I'll zoom in here. There he is. What a player he was. Arguably the best ever. Forget your Messis and your Cristiano Ronaldos. This guy for many was the GOAT, as the kids say these days. But as I mentioned, stadium steeped in history and tradition, and very unfortunate that no Rangers fans will. Well, there will be a select few. I know there's a corporate trip. There will be a select few that will be inside the ground on Wednesday, but not the large faithful that regularly follow the side. And if you are making your way to Naples, just stay safe, I think is the message. And as I mentioned, there is guys going to Sorrento down the coast, which is highly recommended. Or even Rome. I mean, Rome in that super fast bullet train was just over an hour away. So well worth a visit. Just unfortunate we can't get through that steel fence as yet. I'm just at the back of the ground now. We'll walk right round anyway. Back in the blaring heat again. Gee whiz. I'm actually going to speak to a guy, you might have seen him on social media, on Twitter, Get Napoli Tickets, just to get the bit of a lowdown on the game from a Napoli perspective. He's actually urged the Rangers fans not to make their way towards the ground as well, so be interested to speak to him. Hopefully speak to him at some point, either tonight or tomorrow, and you'll see that on our social media channels as ever. And we'll get close to this. This looks like one of those little ticket booths again. There we go. There's a little ultras artwork there, a little stencil on the concrete. Yeah, the ultras are renowned, aren't they? Certainly don't want to be jumping into them in a dark night down an alleyway or whatever. So I think that's why the message is quite a strong one, not to travel. So just hoping that all the bears that head out here to this part of Italy keep safe and enjoy their few days. So far, not so good in terms of trying to get in. I'll venture down here. This might be better. No, there's closed doors as well. Well, sorry guys, I couldn't take you inside. The road down there. But when I do get access to the ground, which will be tomorrow, we'll shoot some little videos, of course, particularly when the Rangers players do their little walk around, as well as the press conference as well. Can Rangers get a result? I think it would be an absolutely monumental result if they could get that. Not many supporters hold out much hope of anything from here. I think you'd quite happily take a respectable defeat and head into the last game with Ajax, although Europa League qualification is still available to Rangers if they can somehow manage to get a result here and Ajax don't pick up any points against Liverpool in Amsterdam. But even the most optimistic Rangers fan, I think, would think that's a bit far-fetched. There's more artwork on the walls here. Fame de Vittoria. Wow. Some more graffiti. There's the ground just up there. Try and zoom out a little bit. Oh, I can't quite do so. I think that's zoomed out enough. So yeah, this looks like where a lot of the Napoli hardcore supporters would enter the ground. Look at that up there. At least though we're just brick steps. So yeah, seen a fair bit of football this ground, that's for sure. There's some more artwork leading up to this part of the ground. We'll just head up here. 30th of September 92. Look at Mental Italians. There's some more artwork on the side of the wall. Nuova Guardia Resa Zero, sorry. So yeah. Oh, now we can see the TV trucks just setting up for Wednesday. Well, this is the visitor stand actually. This is where the Rangers fans would have entered. In there. I thought I said Rangers for a minute there. Ringrazia il Feminale. My Italian isn't so good, folks. Might get a wee sneak peek in here. So this is where the Rangers fans would have come in on Wednesday night. Try and look in here. I don't think we can get any view of the ground, we can't. It's almost prison-like, isn't it, in the exterior? But I love these old grounds. Give me a ground like this any day over your soulless bowls that are popping up now. Like this, Nottingham Forest, West Bridgeford Reds. I don't know when Nottingham Forest played here right enough. Maybe somebody can tell me on the video. Some more artwork in here. It's a very dingy looking part of the ground. There's that face again that we've seen earlier on. Ultras. What's that? Rione Sanita. There you go. There's yep. The old genitalia on the wall there. There we go. You can see the TV van just setting up for the game. Ultras Napoli. So yeah, in fact there wasn't too many Napoli supporters at the game in Rome last night. They were housed up in the top tier, just in the main stand, if you can call it that. Maybe a few thousand perhaps at most. Over 61,000 at the game last night, and as I mentioned, the atmosphere was sensational. But there we go, folks. That's the ground. We'll try and head over this way. Area OB van outside broadcast. Security guard there. But that's your whack pretty much. I think we want to go down there. But we'll try and get down this way. As I mentioned, when I get in tomorrow, I'll give you an insight of the inside of the ground. Give you an idea where Rangers will be strutting their stuff on Wednesday. And let's hope they do, because they owe their supporters a performance. It's been a disappointing Champions League campaign. Full of optimism, of course, when Rangers went to Eindhoven and beat PSV in their own backyard. But the group has been incredibly tough. It's been a really humbling experience for Rangers. There's Maradona down there, we'll zoom in there. So certainly Diego everywhere. You pretty much look in and around the vicinity. So there we go, folks. There is the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. As I mentioned, it really unfortunate we won't see the vast amount of Rangers fans that we normally do on these European trips. I'll be in and around Naples for the next few days, so if you see me, come and have a chat. And as I mentioned, I was speaking to a guy from a Napoli side as well to get an idea of the match from their perspective. But yeah, there we go. I'll be back on video with Johnny a little later on. But until then, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Ciao for now.